Throughout the duration of the next month, we are going to be doing a variety of ear training exercises, and we're going to be starting from complete foundations. And we'll eventually work our way to intervals of thirds, fourths, and fifths. But we've got a lot of rhythm exercises and pitch exercises and so forth along the way. So, this series is designed to basically take you from complete rudiments. So, I'm assuming you know basically nothing about different things, different ear aspects and elements of the piano. So our first session is going to be on pitch. So it's easiest to start thinking about pitch in terms of range on the keyboard. So we have the low range, we have the mid range, and we have the high range. So of course there's a blurry line. When does low pitch become mid pitch? And when does mid pitch become high pitch? Well, I mean, the dividing lines aren't quite so clear. But in order to kind of get a better sense of pitch, we want to just be able to easily and quickly identify, okay, that's low, that's mid, or that's high. And that's what we're going to be doing today. So let's start by just talking about mid pitch a little bit. So mid pitch is when we're hovering around middle C, or the exact middle of the keyboard. Again, I don't want to be strictly focused on which specific note is the dividing line between mid and low and so forth, because I don't think there is one. But with mid pitch, we generally get this sense of richness of sound that exists, which doesn't exist in higher or lower pitches. So for example, if you're listening to chords in the mid-pitch range, they sound very full. Each tone is quite distinct. Now listen, what chords am I doing? If I do the same chords in the lower range, notice how much darker and almost a little bit more obscure they sound. It's harder to pinpoint specific tones. And we hear the same kind of thing, especially if we go very high. Again, we lose clarity. So I find that the midtones have the most clarity and balance. Of course, we sometimes want different effects. So when we get into the low range notes are especially good for single notes because they have a deep, resonant character. The tone of a bass C holds on and extends. It has a kind of a resonance that a thin higher pitch doesn't have. The higher pitch kind of fades away more quickly. It disappears a little bit more easily. So we really like bass notes to give a sense of depth or resonance. Whereas we get this like really nice, really a nice sort of music box effect almost when we do the higher pitches. You'll notice a lot of piano music, the higher pitches are meant to are really good with fast running passages. So what I'm going to do now, and we'll get to the exercise part of it. We've talked a little bit about the low range, the mid range, and the high range. And I'm going to play a variety of excerpts for you, and your job is to identify if I'm playing low, mid, or high. Exercise number 1. That is a mid-range selection. And that's a high range selection. That's a mid-range selection. That's a low selection. That's a low selection. That's a high selection. That's a mid-range selection. Now, whether you're hearing single notes or chords, the main thing to be able to identify at this stage, and this is generally pretty straightforward for most people, is different pitch ranges, because that's going to be something we need to tease out and separate from other aspects of ear. So we'll get to those other aspects of ear in future sessions.